Alright guys, I'm going to record some more reading Proverbs. I'm on my break. I got an hour break today. Already about 5 minutes have passed or so, but I'm going to be taking some drinks, so I was pretty exhausted. We did truck today and it's pretty warm in my vehicle. But I'm going to start at Proverbs chapter 4 and feels pretty good to be able to do this, because when I clocked out, I was thinking, I could run home, I could do other things, and I'm kind of making myself do this, so it's kind of disciplining myself, but I know that the reward's going to be a lot greater if I can get in the habit of doing this. And I'm making sure that I'm making time to get into Scripture. So chapter 4 says, "Hear, ye children, the instruction of a father." And so, okay, I don't know what I was thinking I was going to say, but this does remind me too of the epistles of Paul already, where he says basically, children, respect your parents and stuff. Same idea, I guess. "Hear ye children the instruction of a father, and attend to know understanding. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law." It's kind of going on again what we've seen from the previous chapter. "For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. He taught me also, and said unto me, Let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live." So it's interesting, or we got kind of like a lineage thing where he's saying, sons and daughters, listen to your parents, basically listen to your father. And he says, I was once a son and I listened to the instruction of my father. And it kind of goes all the way back. So he said unto me, Let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live. It says he taught me also, and said that unto me. Thine. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. So again, he attributes wisdom or understanding as a she, the wisdom. "Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy strength, with all thy getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor. When thou dost embrace her, she shall give to thine head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver to thee." And so we see how a crown thing is like a figurative thing. Just makes me think of that doctrine that says that, they look at the mention of crowns in the New Testament and say, when we're in heaven, we're going to, according to different things that we did, we're going to get different crowns. And I said I don't believe in that. And it's like figurative. But this is like a perfect instance where you can see that. "Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many." Again, saying, you can live longer if you follow, God's wisdom. But we know, those who are believers of God have eternal life, and that's, that is many years. That's beyond that. That's infinite. And reading through this, sometimes I feel like there's not really much that I can offer as any insight. I'm like, I don't know. I gotta keep reading. I gotta find out where it was here. Okay. Verse 11 says, I have taught thee in the way of wisdom, I have led thee in right paths. When thou goest, thy steps shalt not be straightened, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble. That seems kind of odd to me. It says, when thou goest, thy steps shall not be straightened. So what does that mean? Because you would think that being straightened would be a good thing. He's saying they won't be. And he says, when thou runs, thou will not stumble. So straightened, thy steps shall not be straightened. Is that meaning basically you will be walking straight, or you will be following the right path so you won't need corrected? Or is that maybe what it means? Take fast hold of instruction. Let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it. Turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. And what does that mean? They sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. And so, basically, they're not happy, or they don't rest unless they've harmed somebody, is basically what I'm getting at. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. That's interesting phrasery there. But the path of the just is as the shining light, that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. We see the path of the just is as to a light. So there's a lot of that lightness and darkness speech in Scripture, and it makes me think of some of the parables of Jesus, or the light, the lamp on the hill. And Jesus, we're basically the salt of the earth, and we're the light. And what is it in Psalms where it says, "Your word is like a lamp unto my feet," or whatever, to guide me. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. My son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Sorry, I'm kind of freezing up here. I was just thinking about how it's health to all their flesh, and they can it's health to their whole body, physically. It could be physically and spiritually. But I was also thinking if their flesh could also be your children, your offspring, or future generations also. Put away from thee a froward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the paths of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right, hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. So walk straight in the Lord's ways. And it just makes me think too, when I was going to the Assembly of God and they would have somebody like speak in tongues, and then they would have an interpreter, and it was like always the interpretation was always like, turn not to the right or to the left. And so maybe that's like where that verse comes from, but that seemed to always be the interpretation of this one lady, so it just made me think of that. I'm going to go ahead and go into chapter 5. I think I got a little bit of time here. My son, attend unto my wisdom, and bow thine ear to my understanding, that thou mayest regard discretion, and that thy lips may be knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. So I wonder, it's going to start talking about a strange woman, because I'd like to be able to kind of categorize these chapters in Proverbs to break it down more, to understand it more. And it's like the beginning of it a lot is about understanding and wisdom and, following the law and the commandments and departing from evil and stuff. And then I know that part of it talks about the strange woman, and could be getting into that now. But anyway, kind of a bit of a change from the context of the scripture. That thou mayest regard discretion, and thy lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of life, her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O ye children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. It makes me wonder if I need to read it more and think about it more. But, the strange woman used a lot about how, fornication, or just women in general are like, women who don't follow the paths of God and stuff. I think a lot of people take this kind of literally, and maybe it's meant to be that way. Maybe the strange woman is kind of figurative for just evil ways in general, and because he always talks about how understanding is like a woman, and so maybe the strange woman is, the ways of not understanding, the ways of the wicked, basically. And it could be taken as a study on, women that, in particular, that are ungodly or whatever, but maybe it's supposed to be like a figurative. I'm just wondering if it's the contrast to, the godly understanding, or the godly wisdom that's referred to as a woman. I don't know. Lest thou shouldest ponder the path of of life, her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Hear me now, therefore, O children, and depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove thy far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house, lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. I thought verse 9 is kind of interesting. Lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. So, you're basically destroying your honor. You're disrespecting your honor. You're throwing away your life, basically, going after the strange woman. giving thy years unto the cruel is like the opposite of to follow his commands. You will have long, many years of life, like he said. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth, and thy labors be in the house of a stranger. And thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed. And thy labors be in the house of a stranger. It makes me think of like in the house of Satan. Like basically you're not in the house of God. Like, you're going to be doing labor for the devil if you're not following God's ways. And it says, and thou mourn at the last, when thy flesh and thy body are consumed. That makes you think of like hell. And, I know it doesn't mean just consumed in flames or, basically like death, like, you're done for, basically, is what he's saying. He's saying, this does not have a good end to it. He talks about, your honor is destroyed, your wealth, your, all your work, all of your being is going to decay from going after the strange woman. And say, how have I hated instruction, and my heart despised reproof, and have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly. Drank waters out of thine own cistern, and running waters out of thine own well. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad, and rivers of water in the streets. This is kind of taking me away a little bit, where he's going off on here. But I'm just going to continue reading. But this is something I would like to look more into these verses. Let them be thine own, and not thy strangers with thee. Let thy fountain be blessed, and rejoice with the wife of thy youth. And so here again we're talking about the wife of his youth, and then I'll continue reading. It says, verse 19, let her be as the loving hind and pleasant roe. Let her breast satisfy thee at all times, and be thou ravished always with her love. And why wilt thou, my son, be ravished with the strange woman, and embrace the bosom of a stranger? And so he's saying, why would you basically give up your wife? And, I said fornication, not just fornication, but adultery. And it's like, why go after this strange woman? And a lot of times, I've seen it preached, literally a lot, to where it would be talking about, it could be applied literally, but I still have a feeling like maybe this is figurative, and the wife is, like God's instruction, where the strange woman is disobeying, not hearkening to that. So I don't see any problems with why it couldn't be that. And it seems like that kind of goes into the context more of what the previous chapters were. And maybe this is common knowledge, I don't know. I haven't looked at a lot of studies on Proverbs, so I gotta look at the commentaries. And for the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he pondereth all his goings. His own iniquities shall take the wicked himself, and he shall be holden with the cords of his sins. He shall die without instruction, and in the greatness of his folly he shall go astray. You're going to reap what you sow, whatever path you choose, life or destruction, that's going to be the end of it. Oh, a lot of good stuff here. I kind of feel a little better about these verses, or these chapters, than I did chapter 3. I feel like there's a lot more for me to look into on these. But I've spent about almost 20 minutes. So I'm going to do a quick prayer. Dear God, thanks for this day. I always like to pray and thank God for the day, because every day that we have, I don't want to take for granted. And today's been such a blessing. I mean, I can't complain at all. So, even if I could, it's thank God for every day, no matter what, no matter how things are going. Thank you, Lord, and thank you for your word, and please help us to stay on your paths as Solomon's written in Proverbs. Help us to understand Proverbs. It's a very complex book, and it's been studied for years and years and years and years, and it will be. And just help us to understand what you want us to understand, and speak to us, Lord, when we read it, when we hear it. And Lord, I want to pray for those families that are affected by the COVID, and this is still an ongoing thing, so I feel like it always needs prayer. But dear God, thank you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Alright guys, till next time, God bless.